Hi there, my name is Morgan, and this is the second video for the writing series that I've started. And we're just going to dive right in. If you bring out your notes from the last video, the song we wrote together, we're just going to look at the rhyming scheme that I created for that song. And that's going to help you with your own song. You can have a writing scheme of any order or any pattern. It really doesn't matter, to be honest, but sometimes it just sounds better to have the last word of your line rhyme with following line. So to explain myself a little bit more, we're just going to look at the song we wrote together during the last video, and we're going to see what the rhyming scheme is. So no matter what, the first line of your song is going to be A. So you're just going to put an A at the end or beginning. The leaves outside are dancing gently. So that's going to be our A. So it doesn't matter if any of the rest of these lines, if the last word does not rhyme with gently, this is still going to be rhyme line A. That's just saying this is the first line. This is the first word we can rhyme with. Leaves outside are dancing gently. I feel myself floating in the breeze. So breeze also rhymes with gently, and rhyming doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like, ball, Paul. It doesn't have to be like exactly. It just has to sound similar. So gently and breeze, those have similar sounds when you're listening to something. Maybe you're not even paying attention to what the words are being said. Maybe you're at a restaurant and you just hear the atmosphere, the atmospheric music around you. You're going to pick up, even if you're not listening to the words, you're going to pick up that those two lines rhymed, and it's going to sound cohesive to you. So gently, breeze, that E sound is rhyming. So this is A, the first line is A, and because breeze rhymes with gently, it's also A. So I have A. Inside, I hear the music calling, E, calling. We have another A. So my first three lines of the song that we wrote, I keep saying we, the song from the last video, so far the first three lines are all A. They all rhyme with one another. And later on, in a few minutes, we're going to look at a song from someone else and look at how their writing scheme for that song is completely different than this one. There is a piece I can't explain. Oh, what is that? Is that our first B? Yes, it is. Gently, breeze, calling, explain. Explain does not rhyme with gently, breeze, or calling. There could be an argument made that it rhymes with calling, but that would be in the pronunciation of how you sing it. You'd probably have to have a really strong twang for calling for it to rhyme with explain, which I do kind of have a twang. I'm from Kentucky. But just for this argument, we're going to say it's A, B. Let's go to the chorus, the short chorus that we made. Ooh, I can finally say I'm here. Here doesn't rhyme with explain, calling, breeze, or gently. So what's that going to be? That's going to be our rhyme scheme, C. Ooh, I can finally say I'm here. It was a long road. Road, here, explain, calling, breeze, gently. Road doesn't rhyme with any of those. That's our D. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to listen to fear. Oh, hold on a second. Fear. I'm just going back up line by line. Fear, road, here. That's going to be a rhyme scheme, C. Oh, I'm not going to listen to fear. The stillness is my home. That's going to be D. So we have a much more common rhyme scheme, I think, for the chorus than the first verse. The first verse, just off the top of my head, I don't think many songs would have the first three lines rhyming with one another and the fourth line being, you know, a change from the previous three lines. And I've just got a visit from my little kitty cat. Hi, honey. How you doing? Oh, she won't let me pick her up. So yeah, so for the chorus, we have C, D, C, D. For the first verse, we have A, 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 B. So if we look at the second verse that we wrote, I have a feeling that it's going to be the same as the first verse. And I'm just glancing at it, I don't know. But I remember telling you to mirror the second verse with the first verse just to help you. So let's just look at it really quickly before we look at the song written by, who's this written by? KT Tunstall? Is that right? I just had this song pop up in my head because I thought it was a unique song. I have never heard of that person before. KT Tunstall. But the song is Black Horse and the Cherry Tree, if you've ever heard of that. And I'm not going to play it in this video. I don't want any copyright notices on my video. So please listen to it, just a snippet of it on your own time right after this video if you have time. Black Horse and the Cherry Tree by KT Tunstall. So let's look at the second verse very quickly of the song that we wrote together last week. The sky is blue and it surrounds me. So me, home, fear, hear, explain, calling, breeze, gently, me. We have an A. So it's gonna rhyme with exactly with the first three lines of the song. The first line of the second verse rhymes with the first three of the first verse. Let's keep going. I feel myself rising. You have another A. We might do the same thing as we did in the first verse. Inside I hear a wind exalting. Another A. Exalting everything I see. This second verse is completely a rhyming scheme. Every single line of the second verse rhymes with each other. Now, I would like to tell you very quickly, if you write a song and none of the ending words in the line rhyme with one another, that is okay. My personal writing style likes to depend on rhyming. I would say that it's the most popular style. But I have heard songs that the lines don't really rhyme with one another. And that's why we're going to look at this song. It's because for the first four stanzas, they don't rhyme with each other at all. And so I love that example because in the second stanza, that's where the cohesiveness comes in. So the first four lines don't rhyme with one another, but the second four lines match up with what you just heard. So we'll get to that right now. So just looking at the song we wrote from last week, just a summary. If you are taking notes and wrote the lines out of the song, it's A, B, first verse. Chorus, C, D, C, D. Second verse, A. That's the rhyming scheme. Now, if I had a little bridge in there that was between there is a piece I can't explain and ooh, I can finally say I'm here, we're going to write a bridge just very quickly, just to introduce a new rhyming scheme, just to further explain how it works. There is a piece I can't explain. So just for time's sake, I'm just going to write, I can't explain it. I'm just kind of emphasizing what I just said. I can't explain it. And that would be a line that would be said, you know, twice, maybe four times as a bridge before you get to the chorus. The reason I wrote I can't explain it is because it doesn't rhyme with anything else in the song. It, gently, breeze, calling, explain, hear, road, fear, home, surrounds, rising, exalting, see, it. It is unique. So it's going to be rhyme scheme line E. So I just want to show you that I can have an E. Well, if that line was already there before I wrote it, it would have been our C. But don't let that confuse you. I'm just showing you that this line is the only line that rhymes like this in the whole song, and that's okay. I guess we already had an example of that in B. There is a piece I can't explain. So we're gonna close this song and we're gonna look at Black Horse and the Cherry Tree by KT Tunstall. I'm just gonna read it to you, the first two stanzas, and I just encourage you to listen to just one little snippet of the song just to hear how it sounds. Well, my heart knows me better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. So that's the first 4 lines of the song. So if we were writing that down, what would that be? Myself, A. Talking, B. Nowhere, C. Tree, nowhere, tree, yeah, D. So that is 4 lines that do not rhyme with one another whatsoever. And this was a very popular song. So you do not need an A-B rhyming scheme for your whole song for it to be liked. You don't. Let's look at the second stanza of this song. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Well, the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hey lady, will you marry me? And I'm assuming if I listen to the song, me is going to rhyme with way, like look this way, will you marry me? You know, you can do that with words. You can kind of alter them. So, but if you write those lines down, I'm not gonna write the whole line down. I'm just gonna write the last word. So what do we have? We have, for the first, we're gonna just look at the first 8 lines of the song. Well, my heart knows me better than I know myself. So I'm gonna let it do all the talking. I'm writing these words down. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere. With a big black horse and a cherry tree. Second 4 lines, second stanza. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Well, the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hey lady, will you marry me? So the second stanza has some correlation with the first. Even though the first 4 lines did not rhyme with one another at all, KT Tunstall brings in some cohesiveness to the song by mirroring some of the lines in the second stanza with the first. Mirroring, rhyming, same thing as far as I'm concerned. So let's look. The last word in the second stanza on the first line is back. I felt a little fear upon my back. Let's see if back rhymes with anything in the first 4 lines. Back, myself. Back, talking. Back, nowhere. Back, tree. It doesn't. So if we have A, B, C, D in the first stanza, back will be E. It doesn't rhyme with anything so far. Second line, second stanza. Last word, walking. Let's see if there's any mirroring. Walking, myself. Walking, talking. We have a match there. So what's talking? That's B. It was the second line of the first verse. First stanza. Third line, second stanza. Last word. Way. Well, the big black horse said, look this way. Let's see if there's any matchup. Way, myself. Way, talking. Way, nowhere. Way, tree. And I actually didn't push play on this song, so I don't know how she is pronouncing these words. She could be saying tray instead of tree. You know, when you're singing, sometimes you just pronounce things differently. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this video, that way rhymes with tree, okay? So tree and way are mirroring. So this is gonna be D. Way is gonna be rhyme scheme D because it matches tree in the first 4 lines. So the last word we're gonna look at is line 4, second stanza, me. Let's see if it mirrors anything in the first stanza. Me, myself. Me, talking. Me, nowhere. Me, tree. Okay. So it's also going to be D. So if the first stanza is A, B, C, D, the second stanza is E, B, D, D. How unique. That is very unique writing style. She's introduced a new rhyme scheme altogether with back. I felt a little fear upon my back. Then she's mirrored the second line of the second stanza with the second line of the first stanza. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Mirrors in the first stanza, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. So that's where it, that makes it rhyme scheme B. Then we have, well, the big black horse said, look this way. That is mirroring with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Then the last line of the second stanza. He said, hey lady, will you marry me? Rhyming with the line before it in its own stanza, and then mirroring back to the first stanza, last line. And hopefully you've written all this down so you can see this clearly and have the lyrics pulled up for you. So that concludes the second video of the songwriting series. I hope I explained things as clear as I could for rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheming is just rhyming, mirroring. It brings the song together so that it's almost like your song has a life of its own and it was meant to be just because you have this rhyme scheme going on. That's kind of like the unconscious reaction or response to songs. When we hear rhyming, we're like, you know, oh, there's a cohesive there, there's a completion there, there's unity there in this song. You know, the song has a message, it's saying something. So that's just kind of the understanding we have when we listen to songs and we hear that they rhyme. So try to work on that when you're writing songs. Don't get so rhymey that it's like, you know, like I said, ball, Paul, Saul, he was tall. And then it almost sounds like a children's song. Unless you're trying to write children's songs, then that's wonderful. But you kind of want to diversify and kind of make your songwriting more complex the older you are, if you're not writing for children. Kind of challenge yourself, maybe do some word games, some rhyming games. Just pick a word, you know, write it down and try to write as many rhyming words that rhyme with it down to kind of challenge yourself. Because the more words you know, the better you'll be able to write. And you'll have more wiggle room, for lack of better words, to write a song. You know, you won't be boxed in. You know, we all have something to say. It's just a matter of how you want to say it. And the more words you give yourself, the more ease you'll have in expressing yourself. So that's why it's important to know words. It's important to know synonyms, antonyms. It's important to know what words help each other out. So just fall in love with words during your songwriting process and discover new words, and just trust in yourself and that you have the capability in expressing what you want to say. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please subscribe for more songwriting tips, and comment below, please, if you have any questions. Please like this video so more people can see it. And I appreciate your view so much, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.